everyone, my name is Emily Vandervent and I'm an author coach as well as the author of a young adult historical fantasy series called the Crimson Time series. Today I'm going to walk you through how to use boards on Pinterest.
What your Pinterest presence essentially does is it acts like a virtual corkboard. What you can see as I scroll down here, all of these individual groupings of different pins, these are called boards. And so if I click on, let's say, my Crimson Time board, I've broken that down into these different sections. So I have ones for some of my different characters. I have one for the secret society that I created in my novels. I deal with time travel, so I have some different sections for the periods of time that they go to. And then if I click on one of these sections, let's just say Adelaide Anson, because that's my main character. All of these individual pictures and quotes, these all are called pins. And so just like a physical corkboard, I can pin these things to my virtual boards. And so let's go back to my profile. You can just hit the back arrow, or you could come over here on the right-hand side and click the little photo of yourself, which will take you straight to your profile. And so let's say that I want to create another board. All I need to do is I need to go over here to the right-hand side and click this plus button. It'll give you the option of either creating a pin or creating a board. We created a pin earlier, so this time we're going to select board. And then what you need to do is you need to click right here. This is going to be where you name your board. And so one of the most recent books that I've really enjoyed and that has acted as a bit of an inspiration for my Crimson Time series, but Fractured Past specifically, is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So let's just go ahead and make an Addie LaRue board. You can just type it out straight, but I like to be a little fancy, and so this is how I do my board spelling. And so right here for this checkbox, it says keep this board secret. So what that means is if I want to be the only one who is able to see this board, I can go ahead and select this check mark. But I'm actually going to go ahead and just deselect it, which means it's public. Anyone who comes to my profile can view it, and anyone can have the various different pins that I have pinned to it available on their profiles as well. And if I decide later on that I do want to end up making it secret, available just to myself to look at, you can go back to that board later on and change that in the settings. So then we're going to go over here to this red create button. And so what it'll do is it'll give you some recommendations. I always just hit done. And then what I do is I go up here to this Pinterest icon and I click it. And then I put my cursor in the search bar. And then let's go ahead and just type Addie LaRue aesthetic. And so now what I can do is I can scroll through these pictures, and whichever ones that I want, whichever of these pins that I want, I can add to my Addie LaRue board. So here we have a dark clearing in the woods. That's definitely prevalent to the story. And so as you saw here, I clicked this little drop down arrow. These are all of the different boards that I have, so I can select whichever one that I want to pin it to. And I obviously want to put it on my Addie LaRue board, so I'll click save. And right here you can tell that it saved it to my Addie LaRue board. So let's just scroll down here for the sake of showing you, and we'll throw a few others on there. So again, I'm going to hit the drop down, Addie LaRue. A watch and time also have to do a lot with the aesthetic and the different messages and themes going on. So we're going to add that. And then we're going to add books in this bookstore, and then art is also a really big theme and kind of the marks that we leave behind. So we're going to go ahead and throw that on as well. So let's go back to my profile now. And we'll just keep continuing with the Addie LaRue board. You can see that I clicked it, and here are all those pins that I've added so far. So let's say that I want to add someone to this board, which means that myself and anyone else that I add or anyone else that requests to be a part of this board can also pin things to. So all I have to do is I have to click right here in the center, right below my title of my board, this plus button. And so then what I can do is, as you see here, search by name or email. I can click in here, type in anyone I want, and then click this invite button, and it will add them to the board. What you can also do is you can copy the link right here, and you'll see it says copied to clipboard once I click that, and I can share it on social media. So that's an especially great feature if you end up deciding you want to make a reader collaboration board for your book. You can make that board, you can copy the link, share it on social media, and any of your readers, any of your audience who are reading your book or have read your book can go ahead and add whatever pins they want to it that reminds them of the story. So the other thing that you can do with a board, as you saw on my Crimson Time board, is you can actually take your pins and divide them into sections. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. All you have to do is go down to this big plus right in the middle. And again, it gives you the option of creating a pin, adding a note to yourself or on the pin, or creating a section. And so what you want to do is you're going to want to hit section. And then for my Addie LaRue board, let's just say I want a character board for Addie herself. I'll type in Addie, I'll hit add, and here's the section that's created. And so then if I want this pin that I've already pinned to my board to be a part of this Addie section, all I have to do is I have to scroll over it and hit this little pen or pencil icon. If I wanted to move it to a different board entirely, maybe I accidentally pinned it to my Addie LaRue board and I wanted it to go somewhere else, then I can click this drop down. And again, it'll show you all of the different boards you have. And you can just click the board that you want, hit save, and it'll send it to that other board. But I actually want to keep it on my Addie LaRue board. And what I want to do is I want to hit this drop down for section, and I want to add that pin to my Addie section. If you want to, you can add a note to the pin. This is just for you, no one else will be able to see it. I usually leave it blank, but sometimes I'll throw a note on depending. And then hit save. And so now you can see it shifted that pin from the board itself up into this Addie section.
That's all that I've got for you guys today. If you found that helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. And as always, if you have any questions or if there's anything related to author life, social media, writing, publishing, that you'd like us to do some more in-depth videos on, go ahead and drop those in the comments as well.